Imagine coming home to find people living inside of it.
Woke up and found squatters living in our house.
Hi, who are you?
And when you call the cops, they say, we can't help you. That's exactly what happened to Flash, a California man, when squatters broke into his mother's home and set up camp. They sent him an email saying that they had accidentally had furniture moved, but they were going to get it out as soon as possible. Flash started getting calls from neighbors and friends saying that there were lights on, the utilities had been turned back on, and he immediately was like, how do I get these people out of the house? Flash called the local sheriff's office, who told him this was a civil matter and he would have to go through the California courts, which are notoriously tenant and renter friendly. Not wanting to get caught up for months and months, Flash decided to take it into his own hands.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
And he decided to squat on the squatter. Squatting inception. It's like a squat on top of a squat. It's like a pyramid scheme of squatting. Squatception. Squat squared, you could say. Squatting on a squatter, we call that a lunge. No. So much squatting, you'd think it was a porta potty. So much squatting, he didn't have to do leg day.
No porta potties.
No, use whatever you want. The first thing Flash did was he went with his mom and they created a lease saying that Flash was the legal tenant. In California, eviction laws protect tenants. And so Flash's idea was, well, I'll say I'm a tenant and suddenly those laws protect me. I'm gonna go squat on the squatter. This was good. I don't know for sure if it would work in a court of law, and that's why you need a local attorney who is an expert on the laws in your jurisdiction. Remember, I'm not your lawyer, but if you need one, follow the links, shoot me a message, and I'll help you find a local one who knows exactly what to do. Back to Flash. Armed with a lease, he decided to enter the home. This is the first red flag. Let's see what happened. Flash enters the home while carrying a gun while recording. I like the idea of protecting himself. I like the idea of recording. That not only makes sure that his story matches what everybody else says, but he could catch multiple crimes in progress. The issue here is that while this story works out for Flash, it is very dangerous. Entering a home with people who've already broken the law, they're willing to trespass, they're willing to squat. I went through hundreds of videos preparing to make this for you, and so many times it's a drug addict. So many times it's a homeless person. And when you enter that home, when you don't have to, without having the authorities or a lawyer involved, you create a possibility of danger, and the law will not always be on your side. Let's go back to Flash.
What I do is I go to the local, Home Depot, and I get some Ring cameras.
The next thing I want to compliment Flash for is deciding to install the Ring camera. If you have people that are trying to get away with something or scam the system, like you'll see in this video, they don't want to be on camera. They don't want proof of their misdeeds. So by installing the Ring, Flash opened up the possibility of providing evidence of the crimes that they were committing. Great move, Flash.
Hi, are you Flash?
Yeah.
I'm Marla.
Hey.
I'm really sorry about all this. I really am. It's just, it's a nightmare beyond.
I want to pause here and give Flash credit for how calm and polite he is. This situation could be a lot more tense than it ended up being, and there's always the possibility of escalation. One thing you should remember when dealing with a squatter is to keep your calm and be polite. There's no reason to take somebody who has nowhere to go and make them desperate.
Stuff is in the house. You told me that it was accidentally delivered and it was in the garage.
No, I didn't say it was in the garage. No. I never said that.
But anyway, I mean, it's been in the house for
A long yeah.
time. And, I've had realtors over here telling me they can't do anything because of all this stuff. So basically, I'm up here, I'm leaving, and it all has to be out before I leave. Either you take it out or I have to take it out and put it out on the driveway until it gets picked up.
Combined, carrying the gun with being polite adds up to speak softly and carry a big stick, which is a policy that's worked well historically. While Flash was very polite, he had no problem threatening the tenant and telling them what he was going to do to them and their stuff. Depending on what city he was in California, this could have potentially been a criminal violation. In California, in some cities, the definition of a tenant is anyone who stays in a house for more than 30 days with the owner's knowledge. Not permission, knowledge. Flash says earlier in the video that he knows they'd been staying there for months.
Because I haven't been able to do anything with this house for months, because every time they come over here, they tell me that there's people here and that there's furniture in the house.
We know Flash was trying to go outside the court system, which is another way of saying outside the law. This vigilante justice can be very dicey, and you're playing with a loaded gun, no pun intended. I want to point out something here on the trucks. By posting this video to YouTube and getting over 2 million views and counting, Flash accidentally doxed himself. This repairman that shows up has a phone number, which gives us the county or the service area that he's in. If you're going to do something and you're not sure if it's legal, and you make the decision to not hire a lawyer, please, please, please do not record it and post it on YouTube. Make sure that if you do post a video, you don't include street signs, license plate numbers, or house numbers, because that identifying information can get you doxxed, and if you did make a misstep, it can help people provide evidence in a court of law against you. We already talked about what Flash did, but let's talk about the squatter. First thing she did was reach out to him under the false pretense of renting the property. How do we know it was a false pretense? Because she said, "Can I rent it for $0?" No one's going to give you a property for $0 in California. She was clearly fishing for information, wanting to see where he lived, maybe wanting to ask how hard it would be for him to drive down and show the property, because she already knew the house was abandoned. When he pulled out and said he wasn't going to let her stay, she broke into the back door, moved all of her stuff in, and turned the utilities on. By informing Flash that she was living in the house, she actually, under California law, could have established herself as a tenant. Let's see what happens next.
They tell me that there's people here and that there's furniture in the house. So
And who's telling you that?
the realtors.
That there's people here.
When Flash confronts her, she takes the position that this was all a mistake. I haven't been living in the house. My stuff was just accidentally sent here, and someone else has been going through it and using the toothpaste one little piece of toothpaste at a time. Someone else has been sleeping in my bed. Goldilocks, who could it be? Look at the woman as she's like, I'm just as surprised as you, man. All my stuff's here. She knew she was caught, and she decided to lie. Not get a lawyer, not call the cops. She decided to lie. And because of that, this happened.
Coming into the house at night and the lights are on at night.
Well, that would
I got
not be
neighbors
us.
there, neighbors there, neighbors there, and neighbors
That would
there.
never be us.
And those
sir.
are the ones that have been calling me, telling me.
Play that one more time.
That
Neighbors
would
there.
never be us.
She said, I haven't been staying here. None of my people have been staying here. Why is that so important? Because eviction protection only applies to tenants. And if she wasn't staying in the house, then suddenly Flash has every right to throw things out in the street, change the locks, because it's not a self-help eviction anymore. Now it's just stuff that accidentally got put in his house. The squatter has given up all the rights she might have had by not hiring a lawyer and knowing her rights. But hey, criminals usually don't hire lawyers until they have to. To the non-criminals that are watching this video, let's talk about what you should do if you find a squatter. You should, 1, consult with a lawyer to make sure you understand your state and your city rules, because they're going to vary. What you shouldn't do is go down there Rambo style and try to kick the person out yourself. Not only because it's dangerous, like these clips show,
Out of here. Go, God.
but also, depending on where you live, you could be criminally charged for kicking somebody out of squatting in your own home. The law can be crazy sometimes, and you don't want to get taken advantage of because you didn't know your rights. The reality is that while this woman was a scammer and a squatter, she also had a family she was trying to take care of. And these situations, no one should celebrate. It's a harsh reality that we have evictions. It's a harsh reality that we have squatters. And by using as much humanity and patience as possible, we can avoid making these bad situations a whole lot worse. Remember, don't try to do it yourself without getting the courts, cops, or lawyers involved. They're here to protect you. If you need help finding one, reach out and contact me. By knowing your rights and doing your research, you can have the best possible outcome, even in a bad situation. As always, remember, I am not your lawyer, and this channel is about providing real life experience that you can use on the streets. We don't provide this as legal advice, it's educational and entertaining. If you found this video helpful or entertaining, check out the other ones we have posted, like one where we break down street fights and self-defense, and another one where we do a Karen attack survival guide. See you guys next time. As always, I'm not your lawyer.